So I had an appointment on the North Shore of Long Island, nice home. It was a gentleman and his wife, and they had an amazing, really amazing collection of art glass and porcelain and bronzes and jewelry and silver. Everything was amazing. It was like a museum walking into his house. But what happened was he had a few ailments, a few illnesses that he recovered from, but he was getting older in age. And he asked his son if he wanted anything. And for the first few months, the son actually took some items, but ended up returning them, saying that, he was worried they were going to break and they were more important to the father than him. So he just returned them. And now the gentleman was back where he started, and he just had a ton of stuff. And he was nervous, God forbid anything happened to him. His son would want nothing to do with the items and not know the value and just be stuck with them. And he would burden him. So that's why he called my company. I did a walkthrough of everything, and I explained that the market took a little bit of hit in just about everything, but it still has a ton of value in today's market. So we broke the ice, and I ended up buying a handful of items on the first round. And what was interesting to me, it was a little bit different than usual, is he was extremely relieved. A lot of times when people buy these items themselves, him and his wife together, they remember purchasing them at these galleries and auctions. They get upset when they let these things go. But this gentleman had a feeling of relief. It was like a burden was beginning to be lifted, and it was the first step in a process that would help him in the future. And it was just interesting. It was a good feeling for me to help him, and it was interesting to see that someone was actually happy to let go of his own items rather than upset. And I'm happy to help him through the process, and I'm glad he was happy with my service. So the lesson here is that you should talk to your children, and if they don't want your items, don't burden them. I say this as a father. My kids will want nothing to do with my stuff. These antique, dusty things that I appreciate, they will have no love for. So rather than burden them, I think it's a good idea to let these items go or figure out what to do with them at an early stage.
Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.